Om Bhur-Bhuvasvaha Tatsavitur-Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Good heavens, these manjira are very hot. They've been roasting in the sun. Well, welcome. We are beginning another live Sangha today, so I invite you. I trust that my intention will come out clear, that I would love for this space to be a positive one, for us to come together as fellow students of life, to uplift each other, relate in one another's experiences, and share positive sentiments. And I think someone is trimming the hedge behind me, so I hope it is not too loud on your end, but I think there is some good noise suppression on this microphone. Anyway, welcome everyone. I trust those who are joining now are feeling as well as they can, given whatever circumstances they might be going through at this moment. Hello, dear Chris. Hello, Melinda. Welcome. You are the first ones here today. I have good feelings about the Sangha today. Hello, Marley. I'm so happy to be here with everyone. I would love for the space to be one in which we all can come together as beings who are not trying to divide each other. There's a lot of division in the world, but this place doesn't have to be one of those places. Let us find the unity beneath the diversity of all our backgrounds and identities. Hari Om Heruka, welcome. Hello, Christina. Welcome. Hello, Jessica. Hello, dear Yana. Hello, Aesthetically Pharaoh. Much love to all of you. I am indeed live, Emmy. And you are here with me. How lovely is that? So, as many of you know, I like to start my lives with a question of the day. So I invite you to participate. Today I am wondering, what are some unspoken benefits of singing? And I don't just mean in front of a crowd, I mean in your shower, or to a loved one, or alone in a forest. Doesn't have to be in tune. I believe that singing is a basic human activity. We all can participate in it. Nowadays, there's competition, but there doesn't have to be. So, tell me, what are some unspoken benefits of singing? Phantom, you share it's medical therapy. Must do karaoke in your free clinic. I like that. There's some healing. Merle, you share sound and vibration from singing heal the body. That's a great observation. Sandy, you shared makes you feel good. Beautiful. Simple. To the point. Raising a vibration, adds Merle. Ah, that's a great answer, Shakira. And thank you for your heart me, by the way. Hare Krishna. You shared releases emotions. Very true. It's a great way to express all the things that are on the inside. And hello, Tan, how are you? Thank you for your heart me. Om Namah Shakti Shivaya. Eveline, you share bringing people together. Yeah, absolutely a communal activity. Takani, you share social engineering. That's interesting. Would you expand upon that? I would love to know further. And thank you, Hirsi, for your heart me and team bracelet and a best team. That's very kind of you. Oh, these manjira are so hot. They've been in the sun. I gotta put them in the shade. G to infinity, you share activates the vagus nerve and harmonizes the energy field. Those are some powerful words right there. And hello. Jessica, you share can help unwind the yarn ball of our mind and sometimes reprogram it too. That's a great observation. Yeah. Phantom, you add that singing improves memory. That's beautiful. Yeah, that makes sense. And who doesn't want a good memory? Well, maybe those who have experienced trauma. But for everything else that is good, memory helps. Actually, memory helps with trauma too, but I'm getting sidetracked. Helps you process things. Sarah, you share nervous system regulation. I like that too. And hello, dear Sarah. And thank you, Laura, for your tiny. Yippee! Yes. Cat bandana. Yamdana. Hello, Jacqueline. Dude, you share. It makes you feel better. I agree. Morty. Why? Shares Slauma. Morty. Oh, jeez, Rick. Oh, man, I'm trapped inside a TikTok live video. How did I get here, man? And thank you for your heart, me and Rose Greta. Radhe. Hello, Raddy. As well. You always like when I say that because it sounds like your name. Jacqueline, you sing a lot, but just at home. That's okay. Doesn't matter where you sing. Singing itself is important. Beans on toast, you share turning on some loud music, singing and dancing calms you. I love that. Sounds like a release of energy. And a simple answer to your question, Imi Baba, is no. But I used to be addicted to vaping. Hello, Spirit Semicircle. You must be new here. Welcome. Ragnhildur, back to the question of the day. You share stress relief. Yeah, definitely. And the Gani, you gave some clarity. Sets the tone of the space. Gets the energy off the space. I love that. Yeah. Beans on toast, you share. When we are all a little overstimulated, we have dancing and singing parties. Have some fun. I love that. You're so funny, Slauma. Morty, please. Beth misses you. Jerry too. Let's get back to some simple adventures. Please excuse my terrible Rick impression. I'm just goofing around. Stimulation is good, shares Phantom. Yes, I agree. It's good to engage the five senses in every day. Sophia, you share. You are a singer. You love to see people happy and bring back memories. I love that. Me too. Phantom, you share. Stimulation is where psychology meets physiology. You're very right. The senses are what connect the body to the mind. I consider voice acting, says G2 Infinity. You're too kind. You're too kind. Alright. Thank you, everyone, for exploring this question of the day with me. You were all very lovely. Yeah, singing improves many different aspects of our life. Welcome, dear Anna. Thank you, everyone. So I like to start my lives with a question of the day. And then we go into a short reading. And then we can really open the floor up to discuss anything and everything. So we're going to read another section from The Hidden Power in Humans. I think you'll enjoy this with me. We're diving deep into the nature of the Muladhara Chakra right now, which is the root chakra. We've spent several pages so far discussing the nature of this root center. Let's dive even deeper, shall we? Alright, where did we leave off last time? The evolution of consciousness is connected with time. And the snake, symbolized in the root chakra, is also known as Kala, which represents time, past, or death. Therefore, the winding of the snake around the Shiva Lingam, another symbol in it we discussed last time, can also represent time, past, present, and future, corresponding to the 3 windings of the snake. Another symbol of the Muladhara Chakra is an inverted triangle. The tip pointing downwards indicates that we are at the beginning of our spiritual development, and the sides that spread upwards and outwards show the direction of the developing consciousness. The Muladhara Chakra is affiliated with the sense of smell. The awakening of the Muladhara Chakra can lead to a heightening of sensory perceptions, especially the refinement of the senses of smell and hearing, so that we become aware of aromas and sounds that are not perceptible to others. Some people can see auras or feel the thoughts and moods of others. The color assigned to the Muladhara Chakra is red. The color red means energy and vitality. It indicates the existence of a strong, dense energy and is connected to the earth. Our existence has its roots in the earth, and therefore the earth element, Tattva, it is assigned to the Muladhara Chakra. Our earth is our mother. Our body is formed from her elements, and she supports and nourishes us. We should always be grateful to our Mother Earth and demonstrate our respect by protecting and caring for her. In line with the divine plan, we humans should be protectors of the earth, not its destroyers. Our duty is to develop sympathy and love for nature and all living beings. Those who are unable to empathize with others or to feel the pain of other living things will remain at a lower level of consciousness, within the animal spheres, far below the Muladhara Chakra. The manifestation and development of human consciousness begins in the Muladhara Chakra and continues upward to the 1,000-petaled lotus of the Sahasrara Chakra, the crown. The Muladhara Chakra is the mother who nourishes and raises us. It is the seat of our dormant wisdom, the stronghold of our hidden spiritual powers and capabilities. By awakening this chakra, under the care of a spiritual master, we accomplish the first step on our path towards a fully developed human consciousness and beyond to God realization. Now, let's do a brief overview of some exercises for the Muladhara root chakra. First is Kriya Yoga, the best practice to awaken the Muladhara Chakra and purify the karmas. The initiation into Kriya Yoga is given by the spiritual master to the aspirant. There's Ashwini Mudra. It is a very effective exercise to raise the unconscious into consciousness. Ashva means horse, and Mudra means a position of the body. With this exercise, the muscles corresponding to excretion, literally the anal sphincter, are repeatedly contracted and relaxed, just like a horse when it sheds its droppings. There's also the Maha Mudra. Starting position, we sit on the floor. One leg is straight and the other leg is bent so the heel is beneath the buttock. Exhaling, bend toward and hold the toes of the straight leg with both open hands. Raise the head and look upwards. Remain in this position for a few minutes, breathing normally. Finally, there's Manduki Mudra, also known as Bhadrasana. Starting position is Vajrasana. Some of you yogis probably know this. Sitting on the heels. Separate the legs far enough so that the buttocks can rest on the floor. Exhaling and keeping the back straight, bend forward and place the hands on the floor between the knees. Arms can be straight or bent, whatever is comfortable. The fingers point outwards and you look towards the tip of the nose, Remain in this position for a few minutes, breathing normally. This exercise protects us against harmful emissions, detoxifies the body, and has a grounding influence, as well as improving the sense of smell and concentration. Now, a verbal description is probably not conducive to practical understanding of these physical exercises, so perhaps these terms you can look up in your own time. Kriya Yoga, Ashwini Mudra, Mahamudra, and Manduki Mudra, also known as Bhadrasana. And we'll discuss some other helpful exercises next time. So thank you for listening. Now we can open the floor to discuss whatever it is you wish to. Namaste. All right, my friends, thank you for that. And thank you, dear Heruka, for your rose and balloons. Om Namah Shakti Shivaya. Hello, Amber. Welcome. Thank you for being here. It is definitely my intention for this space to be a calm, peaceful one, for you to feel free to be yourself. And so any elements of that you can find here, I'm only grateful to have that opportunity to have with you. That's okay. It makes sense to giggle at these words. They are very funny things, you know? You'll notice that the body is arranged such that the taboo stuff is closer to the ground, and the more advanced stuff is closer to the top. You know, we have very advanced brains and eyes and ears, a sense of smell and taste. But as we go lower, we have, ooh, the funny stuff down here. Or you are hoping that I have some sunscreen on. I'm afraid that I do not at this moment. Hello, dear spirit semicircle. You shared this is so calming. You have fallen asleep to my streams a few times. Oh, well, welcome. I'm so happy that you find the space relaxing. Katie Pond, you're wondering if there are birds in the background. There indeed are, but there's also someone trimming a hedge, which probably contributes to the high-pitched noises you're hearing. Eveline, you are sharing that you feel connected to certain people through energies on Earth. Do I have this too? Of course. You know, as we open up to people, different levels of our consciousness become, I guess, mirrored or harmonized, you could say. I mean, so much information, which is really another synonym for energy, is expressed through so many different ways. I mean, there's words, of course, but try it for yourself. Write down a paragraph and put it on a Word document, a PDF, and then see the file size of that PDF. It's probably just a few hundred bytes, maybe a few kilobytes at most. Then just record an audio, an MP3 of you reading what you wrote out loud. You'll find, well, that's probably many megabytes. Or many, many kilobytes at least. A few megabytes. And then make a video of you reciting the very same thing you said. And that video could be a gigabyte, especially if it's in 4K, 60 FPS. So, it's clear that audio contains so much more information than the literal text. And video contains so much more information than what you hear too. All of this information is expressed, and there are subtle ways in which it is that cannot be recorded by modern technology either. Thank you, dear Kylie, for your rose and heart me and trio of team bracelets. Dum Durgaye Namaha. Chloe, you share you're not working tomorrow because you're not feeling well. Well, that's very good that you're taking the time to take care of your body. How can you expect to be in service to others when our body needs some serving, some servicing, a little tune-up, check-in, some treatment, oil change? All good. If we don't make time for our wellness, shares Magdalene, we'll be forced to make time for our illness. Very true. I'm happy you love my yam dana, Amber. It's got yams on it, and it's got bandanas on other cats. Truly got everything you'd want on a yam dana. It's also got a beautiful floral border. What can I say? That's very kind of you, Kathy. Thank you. Hello, Just Jace. Hello, Mr. Maudlin. It is very sunny where I am. Yes. I might be a melted puddle at the end of this, truly. I'm just slowly gonna gloop. I'm gonna become a gloppy substance just on the ground. It is merch, Amber. Actually, I speak so highly of this partly because it's something that I have created for you. Katie Pond, you share you have spent 8 days in a row of working, and the early live stream is exactly what you need in this evening. Well, I'm very happy that the timeline works out for you in that way. 8 days is a lot of days to work in a row. Well, you are definitely contributing to that which you give your service to. And I am sure the world thanks you for that. Thank you for caring about my health, Phantom. Amber, you're wondering if I ship to Australia. You'll have to check. It's carried out by, a business that prints them, makes the textiles, and ships them, so I don't know. I imagine so. Probably international. Fox Forever, welcome. You share that you don't know how to heal your inner wounded child. Your therapist told you to parent it. Well, your therapist gives some really beautiful advice. Yeah. What we do is we feel that there's two parts of us. There are many parts of us, but in this case, there's a wounded child, and then there's a grown-up version of yourself too. Because on one hand, you still have all your vulnerability inside. All of the memories you have as a child are still a living part of you, and the very same preciousness in your youth, it's part of your very being, And in other words, you still are that inner child. You just have a grown-up body and experiences that come from that grown-up part too. And those grown-up experiences, they can help remedy our experiences that we had when we were younger. So we can separate ourselves in this way. We can externalize our inner self, and we can speak to it as if we were the parent that we needed in that time, You can feel like a wounded child in you, and you can speak directly to that wound. You can say, I love you. You're valid. Everything you've gone through has shaped the wonderful person you are today, and all of that potential you had then, you still have, and we can work through that and realize it. We can send in those sentiments. We just have to put ourselves in the parental role, at the same time put ourselves in the child role. And it's a very beautiful dynamic that you can have with yourself. You can really have a relationship with yourself. You can give love to yourself and then run all the way to the receiving side to catch all that love and then feel it and go, thank you. It's hard to do one without the other. You know, many people say, I love you to themselves. So they say it to themselves, but then they don't listen to themselves saying it. You know? I'm saying I love you, but I'm not hearing it. So you have to quickly say I love you and then run all the way to your ears from your mouth and hear that. Oh, someone just said I love you to me. Oh, thank you. Sometimes we just do the listening, but we never hear it. You know, I'm waiting for myself to love myself. Where is it? They're not saying it. I'm waiting. We got to do both. And it's hard. It's difficult, but you can quickly, as you speak, tell yourself that you love yourself. And then, as you listen, recognize that you just told yourself that you love yourself. That's important. That's beautiful. It's very meaningful. Now, 1 second. My phone is slightly in the sun. I don't want it to explode because the sun is a deadly laser. And electronics, they do not fare well in heat. All right. There. Thank you for your patience. Thank you, dear Giuliano, for your ice cream cone, your rose, your cloud bread, your Gigi, and a TikTok. The Giuliano specialty. Welcome, my friend. Hari Om Tat Sat. And Simply Done, thank you for your heart me. Hare Krishna. And Chinchu, thank you for your friendship necklace. Om Namah Shakti Shabaya. Thank you, Gina, for the gimme the vote and your pair of roses too. Om Kring Kalikai Namaha. And Grateful Human, thank you for your tiny. Yippee! Sakira, you share that you came back from a temple at Kauai that Satguru Shivaya Subramuni Sabramuni Yaswami built. Wow, what a name he has. It was beautiful. You put ashes on your forehead and put the flame candle on your head. Oh yes, the Arti ritual. And you wrote a negative letter and burned it. Then you wrote a positive one that you want to happen in your life. And you saw Hanuman and Shiva and Ganesha statues. That's wonderful. That's so fun. Thank you for sharing that here. Oh, you know, little rituals like this, they're so important. Human culture used to be filled with them, and they still are across the world. But it's less common here in first world countries or in the Western society. We've forgotten how important it is to symbolize transformative periods of your life with some celebration or act or ceremony, even if it's as small as writing a letter and throwing it into a fire. I suppose since we've developed, a scientific way of thinking, we say there's no logical component to this, but hey, it's not physics, it's psychology, it's spirituality. It really makes a difference within a person's life. Does it make a difference within the physical world? Does it have to? Because the difference is supposed to be felt on the inside. That's something transcendental to the workings of the physical universe. So I love that you got to experience that, and it absolutely will make such a wonderful impact on your life. Just experiencing that energy, the presence, the darshan, propels you forward on an amazing journey. It's like India, but a tropical island. I love that. How sweet. Thank you, Simply Dawn, for your tiny as well. And thank you, dear Chuck, for your octet of tiny tinies as well. Yahoo! Oh my goodness, we're getting so many tiny tinies. Okay, you love the cat sock of wisdom. I'm happy to hear that. You speak very highly of it. A lot of people could become very distracted by it. But you speak such nice words of it. Thank you. Thank you, Kylie, for another tiny tiny. Zakira, you share that your Uber driver bought you a book called Loving Ganesha. They have so many books. That's wonderful. Ganesha is the remover of obstacles. The elephant-headed deity in Hinduism. It's always good to send out a mantra, a prayer to Ganesha before embarking on any journey. Set the intention that way. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om, I invoke the essence of Ganesha. That Ganesha, I bow to you. Hello, Dansuela. Welcome. Hello, Chuck. I hope you all are feeling as well as you can. Kimberly, you are Crossfires? Oh, I think you told me this, but I forgot. There's so many bugs joining the Sangha today. Crawling all around me, that's okay. Fortunately, where I live, there's not many dangerous bugs. You told him about me, your Uber driver, Sakura. That's very kind of you. Thank you for thinking of me. I am really nobody. Your Uber driver takes people where they need to go. That's beautiful. That's quite a service that they render. I love the selfless service that is driving people. I once had a taxi driver who told me the story of how they were a PhD doctor in genetics. And I asked them, if that's so, why do you work as a taxi cab driver? And they said, to be honest, I do so much work for the world by taking people where they need to go than working on hypothetical problems in a lab. And I thought that was very interesting, because we celebrate great scientists for making such huge strides in understanding. But, we should also be celebrating those that drive us places, those that hold the door open for us, those that prepare us meals, They provide just as an important aspect to our life, if not more. I thought that was very beautiful. I discovered that a lot of the Sikhs, who are practitioners of Sikhism, one of the Dharmic religions of India, it's very common for Sikhs to be drivers in that way. They always say the same thing, which is that I don't do this because it gives me the most money or because it's the only thing I'm qualified for, but because it makes me the most happy, because I know that I'm helping people. And I found that really beautiful. It's a totally different understanding of what job you pick. When it's not about the money, it's not about what you're qualified for or not. It's about the biggest difference you could make in someone's life. And sometimes that's not a job that pays a lot and it has long, hard hours, but you get even more fulfillment out of it than a 6-figure salary. Thank you, dear Vanessa, for your heart, me too. Om Namah Shivaya. Eveline, you ask, let me ask you a question. What means love to you? That's a beautiful question. I'd be honored to answer it. Love is something that can never be put into words, though thousands have tried. Millions of poems have been written, books, research papers, how many paintings, how many songs, how many people have been brought into this world from love, how many things have been done in the name of it, and yet, do we know its name? Do we know what identifies love as love? Any definition you try to put on love, always, love finds a way to wriggle out of your own expectations. I think the most defining characteristic of love is that it's undefinable. The most unique trait is that it has infinite traits, and none of them more accurate than another. Love is the very subject, the very reference point to which this entire universe exists as. What can I say about that which is beyond words? All I can say is this, that there is nothing that is not a reflection of love, either in a latent or limited sense, or in a very potent and powerful one. There is nothing but love. All is love. And beautifully put, grateful human. It itself is the hard problem of consciousness. Om Tathastu. And I love that, Gillian. Having a job that fulfills you is never work. It's another part of life to enjoy. And I love that. And it reminds me of the funny saying of a work-life balance. Well, if you see work as something that's not part of life, then why do we call it your living? You know, what you do for a living should by definition be a part of life. And what are we doing calling life as something separate from work? Thank you, happy poet, for your lovely rose. You remind me. Yesterday we talked about the possibility of doing a poetry segment where I get to ask you for some poems and share them. I've generalized that idea. I would love to do more show and tell segments where if you have something that you'd like to share, I have a Google form in the link tree in my bio. It's called the show and tell application. It's very straightforward. All you have to do is tell me what you'd like to share and give me a photo or video or any other file related to it, and I would be honored to showcase it at various parts of this live stream. You know, there's so much talent and joy from each of your passions, and I really want this space to be about you. I just happen to be the host, but I want to bring what you have to share to the light as well. So when you get the chance to remember, fill out the form, and you're welcome to fill it out as many times as you want. And I'd be honored to share it. Oh, I'm happy to hear you like that idea, everyone. Tanswaila, you share. Yes, you want to see the things that everyone is doing. You love this idea, Vanessa. It's a great way to connect. That's a great idea, shares Kylie. Oh, I'm so happy that you're all interested. I'm so looking forward to it. Do remind me to remind you. And if you have the knowledge of this form, and if someone else joins and they mention directly or indirectly their passion, do direct them to the form as well. I'd love as many people as possible to share their passions here. Thank you, dear Pantagor, for your heart me and tiny. Yippee! So no short poems in chat. Asks G to Infinity. You're always welcome to share short poems in chat. Thank you, Eveline, for your heart. Hare Krishna. And Gillian, thank you for your heart me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Pantagor, thank you for another fire. Let's see, have my Manjira cooled off yet? Oh, they definitely have. What form is that, Cameron? It's the form you can find at linktr.ee/YAMSOX. That's the link in my bio. Kylie, you shared that English language and literature is what you're studying, so hopefully it'll be an interesting read, of course. I trust you. 9 Calamities, you had asked what my thoughts are on Solomon coveting with the Christian God and later harnessing demons. That's very interesting. I am not familiar with such stories of the Old Testament, so you'd have to tell me how that story goes. All I can say is that there is no such thing as a Christian God, nor is there such a thing as a God of any religion. There is only God, the God of all religions. And demons, like all forms of negativity, they deserve care and compassion. So perhaps Solomon was harnessing a kind of space to hold negativity. Maybe that's trauma, so that he can heal it, so he can convert it into something greater. I don't know without knowledge of this story. People say that there exists good and evil, but I say there exists good and the potential for good. In other words, there is only goodness, but just at various stages of becoming. I made a video about this yesterday. What we call as bad, evil, or negative is just goodness in a very latent form. It has a lot of potential, but it's not yet manifested. Like when we see someone who's in pain, that's something that is bad. But pain only exists relative to healing. So what we call as pain is just the opportunity for healing. There is a lot of healing possible there, is what we are really saying. In this way, there are only angels, and those who have the possibility to become angels. Goodness in various stages of becoming. Like when someone shares some negativity with us, we can hold that, and we can start untying the knot. What is this anger you've shared? What is this fear? Oh, I see. There's something beautiful here, but not even you realized it. Well, thank you for sharing something negative with me. Now I can turn it into something positive. Thank you, Chris, for the cloud bread you shared as well. Radhe or Radhe. I'm glad you liked the new video. Ragnahildor. Gina. Thank you for your heart me and your trio of roses. Namah Shivaya. Hope you and your family are doing well. Vanessa, thank you for your finger heart. Please accept mine. Thank you, Eveline, for your heart me as well. Om Namah Shivaya. Welcome, Kalki-ji. Aurora, you're wondering how long am I staying on today? Another hour and 20 minutes or so. And Rob Nu, you would like me to please share the first thing that comes to my mind after reading this. Well, my mind is drawn to your Yin Yang. The Yin Yang represents two forces that are at work in the cosmos. Yin, Yang. They go by various names: Shiva, Shakti, Purusha, Prakriti, or the masculine and feminine principle that exists within all things and cannot exist without each other. The most simple sadhana, the most simple spiritual practice that anyone can do is bring your hands together like this. Whenever you feel like there's a conflict within you between these two forces, just bring your body to center like this. Not like this, not like that, not like this, not like that, not like that. Try to perfectly bring your hands together like this. You will find that so much conflict within you drops just like that. And the more we do this, the more powerful of a practice this becomes. Thank you, dear Vanessa, for your hand hearts as well. Hari Om Tat Sat. Oh, I'm so happy that you feel like this space is conducive to safety and security, Gilliam. Kylie, you're wondering, why have I started uploading videos again now? No deep reason, unless you look for one. Just felt like making one yesterday. You know, you could just do things. It's a funny point, but deserves the light of day. That sometimes you don't need a big reason to do something. In the moment, if it's an opportunity for you, you're welcome to take advantage of that. Now, Wesley, you would like me to give a shout out to your girlfriend as she loves all your personalities. Aww. I'm so happy that you have someone in your life that loves you for all the different expressions that come from a united place of consciousness within you. And you are wonderful for bringing her into the light of day as well, giving her the recognition that she deserves. So much love to you both. Petition for Yam, start putting on sunscreen, shares Jacqueline. You all are very kind. I appreciate that you care in that way. Dansuela, you are thanking me for voicing that permission for everyone to hear. You know, you can just do things. Free will means it's free, right? The only cost is the consequences for taking any resources away from someone else that could use them, or your own expectations. But as long as this opportunity is not selfish, nor is it something that has any seriousness to it, then, well, by all means, it's truly a free decision you can have. Oski, you ask, do I have advice on only listening to music that isn't rajasic, as in only brings peace? Yes, this is something I'm scared to bring up. See, once you get, I guess, sensitive enough, where you'll start noticing that everything in life comes in three. Everything in material existence has one dominant quality. And these three qualities, these three gunas are rajas, as you mentioned, tamas, and sattva. Almost everything can be described in terms of having a predominant guna. And the spiritual path becomes very, very straightforward when you realize this, because you can drop all fancy models that divide the world into anything more complicated. It's a very practical and simple teaching. That your goal is to avoid tamas and rajas, to minimize tamas and rajas, and to maximize sattva. In fact, that's really all spiritual practice is in this model. It's the minimizing of tamas and rajas and the maximizing of sattva. But if I tell you what tamas and rajas are, oh, you're not going to like the spiritual journey, because it means letting go of things that you very much love. Like really upbeat music. That would be rajasic. Now, there's nothing wrong with anything that's rajasic. However, what it does is it creates a deep impression in the mind, and we experience a rebound later. Anything which temporarily uplifts the mind's activities, we experience a drop in later. Like people have music festival hangovers. Even if they don't take any alcohol, they have lots and lots and lots of fun. The next day, they feel depressed. Maybe some of you have felt this. Any time in which we increase the activity, the passion of this moment, we are going into debt for the next day, or the next week, or the next month, or next year, whatever. So, if you want to have a kind of, and again, there's nothing wrong with this. I'm just saying, if you want to have a baseline where your mood isn't fluctuating up and down so much, then some discipline is required in saying no to temporary increases in mental activity. But I don't recommend music being the first thing, because music is such a big part of our culture, our society. So leave that to a time where you feel comfortable doing so. The other quality, tamas, is that which decreases the mind's activity. like alcohol was mentioned it, for example. Or if you get in a fight with someone, in an argument, anything which, your limited sense of self becomes, your sense of self becomes limited, I should say. That would be tamasic. Your mental faculties decrease for a while. And it is true. There is a biological explanation for all this. And spirituality is never in contradiction with science. They go hand in hand. They are in agreement. Anything in science that disagrees with spirituality is not true science. And anything in spirituality which disagrees with science is not true spirituality. They are two aspects of human experience that are in agreement with each other. Science is the study of the objects of our experience. Spirituality is the study of the subject of our experience. The conscious subjective witness and the inert objective experienced. Sattva is the quality of peace and harmony. So it's not to say that we have to throw out anything that we do, but we find a way to do it with sattva in mind, in a way that doesn't increase our mental activity or decrease it. Like really relaxing music, for example. Just listening to frequencies, or flute music, classical music, It's music that neither gets you angry or hyped up, neither limits your sense of self nor expands it to a point of rebound. More information about this is in the ancient text called the Bhagavad Gita. There's lots of discourse about the three gunas. But it's a difficult thing to talk about because our society in the West is very much built on tamas and rajas, on things that limit one's sense of self to create a sense of individuality, and also lots of stimulating experiences that are rajasic. So it's a cultural thing as well. It's made a part of our culture. That's why it's exceedingly difficult to transcend these gunas or have a meaningful discussion about them to a Western audience that just loves rajasic or tamasic things. But I encourage you to keep an open mind and have trust that there's a way of doing everything you love, just in a sattvic way. Thank you, green eggs and fried brains, for your heart me as well. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. And Jibe girl, thank you for your rose. Hare Krishna. And Gina, thank you for your pair of roses, or Gigi. Hare Krishna. G to infinity, you're wondering, do people have their own levels of sattva? Absolutely, yeah. These three qualities, they exist within every part of a person, from what activity they're currently engaged in to the very intention of the activity. For example, giving to someone, that's a sattvic thing to do. But giving with the intention of gaining a hold over this person, like somehow they owe us now, that would be a very tamasic intention for a sattvic action. And there's also, tamasic actions that have sattvic intentions too. And our thoughts can be sattvic or rajasic or tamasic. And the state of your mind could be different from the state of your intellect at that moment too. Your mind could be very let's say, tamasic, full of anxiety and depression, but maybe your intellect saying, hey, it's okay. You know, you've got big and beautiful things to do in the world. Get yourself out there. Don't let any of that stop you. And that would be rajasic. So there's a whole spectrum of the gunas existing at each level of our being, from the body to the senses, to our intentions, to our actions, to our speech, to our thoughts, to our intellect. So it can be complicated just because of how many moving parts there are, but as long as you're aware of the gunas, then life is a journey towards sattva. And then from sattva you jump off, you become gunatit, you become beyond the gunas. Even sattva has its limitations, so we go beyond even sattva eventually. Thank you, Gillian, for your garland headpiece too. Hari Om Tat Sat. Have I made a book? No, I have not made a book, Lexus. I don't believe I have enough experience to make a book. That is why I much prefer directing you to great people who have already written books before me, putting it in better terms than I ever could. Or I encourage you to write your own, since I know that you have so many lovely words that deserve to be expressed in some way. Oh, Crystal T, you had asked, do I believe in any sort of destiny? There is both destiny and free will. I heard a funny joke from a guru the other day. So your body, your height, is that destiny or free will? When you're done growing, can you change your height? No, that's destiny. But can you change your weight? There's an element of free will there. You know, you do have free will over your diet and your exercise routine. That's free will. But your height, there's no exercise you can do that makes you taller or shorter. Unless you really hurt yourself, then you're getting shorter. Actually, destiny and free will both have to do with karma. Karma means you write your own destiny. There are many different kinds of karma, but they can be divided into three groups. There's the sanchita karma. This is the karma that you've accumulated since endless lifetimes. It's your bank account full of all your activities. The portion of that which shapes your destiny in this life, like your height, your parents, your nationality, your sex, etc., that's your prarabdha karma. And then the karma that we're currently partaking in is our I forget the word. I forget the Sanskrit word, but the third type of karma is the karma that we're currently adding to. Why don't I open up the page from our book that we were discussing, Karma. There it was described. Kriyamana karma. That's the third type of karma, the karma that we are currently partaking in. Thank you, dear Mads Pidge, for your generosity again in sending a subscription to another viewer. You sent not one, but 3 to each Shakira, Magdalene, G2 Infinities, and now 4 to dear Anna. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Mads Pidge. I'm always happy to have you and all of you here. And I look forward to the opportunity you've provided me to further our funny connections we have in this journey of life. Dear G2 Infinity, Magdalene, Shakira, and Anna. There will be no shortage of Sandy and Shadow stickers. Good. I look forward to it. And thank you, James, for your heart me. Radhe Radhe. Thank you, Andrea, for your heart me as well. Om Namah Shakti Shivaya. Thank you, Peter, for your rose too. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you, James, for your heart me. And Andrea for another rose. And thank you, Babel Fishy, for your quartet of roses. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Dali, you shared that you thought karma is a lesson to learn in this life. That would be the prarabdha karma. The karma that is currently being expressed from your sanchita karma, your bank account. Karma is a very deep concept and has many different aspects to it. It stretches back thousands of years. As a Sanskrit word refers to our actions. All of our actions are called karmas. That is what karma literally means. Action. And our actions have consequences to it. Our actions shape our future and the lives of those around us. So, a huge part of the spiritual journey is to become more aware of the nature of karma, the nature of actions. And we can go deeper into that if you'd like. It's a very precise science, as it is described, for example, in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita and the nature of karma yoga. Speaking of karma, Jay Drew, you were wondering if we reincarnate as a human based on karma. The principle that defines what we reincarnate into in our next life is determined by the last thought. This is, I believe, is the 6th verse of the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says, your last thought upon death, due to your persistent thought of it over the course of your life, will be what decides your next life. That is to say, imagine throwing a paper airplane or a rock or anything in space where there's no gravity, there's no external forces, no air resistance. You huck something in a void, it'll keep going in the direction that you throw it until it hits something or an external force acts on it. And this makes sense. It's a law of physics. An object in motion stays in motion. It's the conservation of momentum due to the transitivity symmetry of the physics of the universe. Similarly, our consciousness goes on the trajectory of its final releasing point, the point at which it was released. Now, what's the point at which consciousness was released? Whatever it leaves the mind, whenever it leaves the mind. So the final thought of the mind is the direction that consciousness takes. Thus, it inherently gains a form based on the trajectory that it was left released at. And this has to do with so many different concepts in spirituality. It's actually a very important point, this is. Why do we spend so much of our life trying to think good thoughts? Because at any moment, that could be our last moment. So we better hope to be thinking good thoughts, so our last thought is a good one. That is why people try to think of God all the time, so that they associate with God at the time of death too. That is why it's so important to live a good, moral, ethical life, because if your life flashes before your eyes at the end, well, let's hope that the culminating thought of all of that is one that leads you to something bigger and beautiful, so you don't feel like you have any loose ends that you have to come back to earth to tie up, you know? Your soul contract is your last thought. So you want to hope that your last thought is a good one. How do you get a human birth then? Well, you make sure that your last thought is something that can only be fulfilled through a human life. If you're thinking, oh, I'm hungry, I wish I had a partner, I wish I had a better home, well, you could do that as a monkey. You can do that as an ant. So if you're thinking about basic needs like that, then you could have those met in an animal life. Your body is going to be given to you in that way. Our karmas basically dictate this last thought. We choose our last life based on all of the actions, all of the decisions we've made up to that point. You could say that at any moment, your current thought is the culmination of all the decisions you've made so far. So through the choices you've made in life, you've come to this state of mind. In that way, we get to choose, we get to build for ourselves our next life through our karma. And that forms the prarabdha karma, the birthright karma for each incarnation. Rianan, you ask, what if you get a bunch of people sick but it wasn't your fault? Would that apply as karma? Remember that karma just means action. That is an action. But your intention is a subtle action as well. What's most important is our intention. But we also pay a little bit of a price for something unintentional too. Because even if you didn't know that there was poison in your drink, and you drink it anyway, just because you were ignorant of the poison doesn't mean you're not going to get hurt. But, it would be even more terrible if you knew that there was poison, but still decided to drink it anyway. In this way, the deepest grooves that are impressed upon by our karmas, our action, is by conscious actions. Unconscious actions, they still have karma, but it's not as much as conscious actions. By the way, we're kind of using the word karma in a different way that we use it colloquially in English. Karma means action. Everything you do is a karma. But whether you're bound by your action, bound to the phalam, the fruit of the action, that's a different story. And that depends greatly on our intention. Thank you, dear Pidge, for sending another pair of subscriptions to Flo and Badermal, if I'm pronouncing their name right. That's very kind of you. I'm so grateful that I have this space where I can host expressions of wonderful beings like you two. So thank you, Meds Pidge, for providing me an avenue to connect deeper with these individuals. And if you're wondering like where karma comes from, and I mean as a concept, like where does the philosophy behind karma come from? If you want like a primary source, rather than, someone like me who's just talking about it on a TikTok live, you want to get to the essence of karma, then we have to turn to the scriptures in which these words first appeared. Since karma is a Sanskrit word, then it is the scriptures written in Sanskrit. Thousands of years ago do these concepts arise. These are the Vedas, the first revelations of humanity, as they are distilled in great stories, Puranas, great commentaries, Upanishads, great epics, Ityasas, like the Mahabharatam, and snippets of such like the Bhagavad Gita. Scriptures and the masters behind them, the gurus, are the primary source on the nature of these Sanskrit terms, like karma. Thank you, dear Angular Jupiter, for your heart me and team bracelet. It's very kind of you. Om Namah Shivaya. Hello, Melibond. And thank you, Mehrazar, for your rose. And thank you, Jane, for your heart me. Radhe Radhe. And Hybrid Jen, thank you for your disco love. MJ, you're wondering, is it possible to prove reincarnation? Because you're kinda on the fence. Well, let me make it understandable, hopefully, that this logical way of thinking is kind of missing the point, because the point is not to believe in something that you don't have logical evidence for. Nor is reincarnation a logical conclusion. It's something categorically different. And this is why I think many, logical thinkers have trouble with spirituality. Because the method upon which we approach this subject is different than the method upon which we approach scientific truths. In Buddhism, reincarnation is part of what it means to have a right view. And the right view is a perspective. It's not a belief system. It's not something you have to have faith in. It's something that you remember at all times. That you base your decisions off of it. And then you see how those decisions positively affect your life. So without even having logical proof for reincarnation, just try this experiment for a day or a week or a month. Imagine that reincarnation is a principle upon which you make decisions and the surrounding philosophy. How would your understanding of life change? How differently would you view the events of humanity? How would the features in your life be affected by holding this principle? It's called a right view because it leads to right action. In other words, reincarnation isn't a conclusion, it's an axiom. It's not derived from anything prior, it is the starting point. We start with it and then see where it leads. Conveniently also, we have to ask the question, what is it that is reincarnating? When we leave behind the body, we leave behind so many things that could be used to prove its existence too. Our body stores much of its memories in the physicality of it, in our scars, in our muscle memory, in our cells, in our DNA. If reincarnation is a truth, then we leave behind all of that. So if the question is, do your memories come with you? And could we possibly use that to prove that it exists? Well, that also is secondary to what is doing the reincarnating. Because it's something more subtler than a simple test like that could be picked up. what we bring with us is the sentiment behind all our actions. A subtle personality that I don't think could show up on a test. That said, there are some cases of people that do claim to know the nature of their past lives. I am not one of them. But most importantly, reincarnation is an axiom. Not something that is proven, but something that you use as a starting point to lead you to other conclusions. And thank you, Bobby So, for your rose, your heart me, your team bracelet, your best team, and it cheer you up. Radhe or Radhe. However, all of that said, I do believe that reincarnation, or many aspects of it, can be logically sound. If we think about it like this, that either there is something after death, which implies something is continuing, or there is nothing, which implies nothing is continuing. Even in the case that nothingness is what remains, well, isn't that same nothingness where you came from? We are so concerned with what happens after death. We never think about what happened before birth. You could say it's nothing also, but that tells you a lot. So we've gone from nothing to something to nothing. We have made a full loop. You've come back to the very place which had nothing stopping yourself from being experienced through your birth to this human body. What would be possibly there stopping that process from happening again? Thank you, dear Gina, for your pair of roses. Radhe or Radhe. And thank you, James, for your balloons too. Mr. Mate, you share, you can't turn off the logical mind forever. It keeps coming back to question things. And question you shall, that's a beautiful thing. But there's a difference between questioning and looking for answers. In the former, you open yourself up to the possibilities. But in the latter, you frustrate yourself endlessly, trying to find a conclusion. We can ask the biggest questions that are possible. And even without an answer, we can attain deep peace. It is not so different than the wonder we experienced as a child when we looked up at the stars and were mystified. We would like to know more, but our happiness didn't depend on knowing more. There was a kind of trust that we'll find our way. Understanding will come, but right now, I am free to revel in the mystery. Thank you, dear Hybrid Jen, for your stinging bee. That's very fun. Yogi, you have a question. Should you apologize to make them feel better or yourself feel better? You should apologize because that's how you take accountability. Yes, it may make them feel better. And you may feel better also. But if you are doing something because you're attaining something as a result, then what does that say about the sincerity of the act itself? We apologize because it's a gift to be able to. This is the essence of karma yoga. That we should perform all actions, not for some goal of attaining some favorable outcome or avoiding some unattainable outcome, but because the ability to even engage in this at all is a good and prosperous thing to do, and it is fulfilling in and of itself. Apologies are another way in which we express our genuine compassion, our humanity, our ability to grow, learn, and acknowledge the experiences of others. If you go forth like this, you will be a true karma yogi. And thank you, Angular Jupiter, for your balloons. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hello, Chef Marie. Is this your first time here? Have we met before? I love that, Mr. Mate. If we don't remember past lives, we are both eternal and terminal in a way. I love that. And namaskaram Veri. And thank you, Nikki, for the rose you sent a moment ago. Radhe Radhe. Hello, Wolfie. This day has been beautiful and fulfilling so far. Thank you for being a part of it. A lovely human by the name of Rain, you had asked, am I Buddhist? I am no more Buddhist than I am a human being. And us humans, we have many ways of expressing ourselves. Through our faith, for example. Many humans are Christian, many humans are Buddhist, many humans are Muslim, many humans are Hindu, many humans are Jewish, many humans are Jain. But all of them are human, and that is my religion. You know, every morning I try to wake up and affirm to myself, I am a human being. I only feel comfortable calling myself something that includes everybody else. All that is good in me is a possibility within everyone else too. But all that I have to work on is my own limitation. Some of you are recreational participants in certain substances If you are liking the words that come out of me, I have good news, because they come not from any substance. All substances engage merely with the system that already exists within you. You are the manager of the greatest chemical factory on the planet. There is no system like the human body. Now, if you were a manager of this body, would you produce a good product? You would want to ensure blissful chemicals being produced. If that is within your control, then why rely on anything secondary, anything external? Nature is a mother, and she is so graceful that she has provided us with ways of coming back to our nature when we have forgotten how to generate it from the inside. All the substances in the world only remind you what's possible from within. That is why, for example, the famous professor of Harvard psychology, Dr. Richard Alpert, had this amazing opening experience from his colleague, Dr. Timothy O'Leary, sometimes called the father of the LSD movement in America. Dr. Richard Alpert could no longer consider himself someone who understood how his mind worked from this one simple chemical. He had to know what was possible. So he traveled all the way from America to India and met this guru called Neem Karoli Baba. He offered his guru one tab of acid from this whole sheet, and his guru took the whole sheet and put it in his mouth like that. Dr. Richard Alpert thought, oh my God, here I am, away from home, in the middle of nowhere, and now I'm going to be responsible for the death of this elderly Indian gentleman. But it turns out that nothing happened to Neem Karoli Baba. It was then that Dr. Richard Alpert, later known as Ram Dass, realized that everything that is possible in the human system, including the experience generated by substances such as LSD, these are experiences that are nothing compared to the natural the natural state of great masters such as Neem Karoli Baba. Yogis from ancient times have been able to cultivate these experiences of higher consciousness and awareness from within. This is possible within you because there is nothing special about this, but there is everything special about having a human body. It is the greatest gift. It only happens not once in a lifetime, but once every 8.4 million lifetimes, according to Vedic scripture, on average. It is this human body that's capable of understanding the greatest truths in this whole universe. Make good use of it. Thank you, John F., for the rose and the friendship necklace and the tiny that you sent a few minutes ago. Hari Om Tat Sat. And Xasid, thank you for your quartet of roses. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Starlight Wow, thank you for your flowers. Om Namah Shakti Shabaya. Aurora, you're wondering, do I scroll on TikTok? Or do I try not to engage in dopamine stuff? scrolling on TikTok. Who do you think I am? Please. I'm beyond that. I scroll on YouTube Shorts. Thank you very much. Yes, I get sucked into scrolling from time to time. It's a powerful force. But at the very least, when I do scroll, I try to be aware of the personalization that I'm inherently signing myself up for. So if the video starts with, some drama, like, you wouldn't believe what this celebrity did, I try to scroll. If I am going to be sucked into scrolling, at least get sucked into educational content or content that doesn't decrease my humanity or my anxiety. And that's something I've had to be aware of recently, because in the last year I noticed that the kind of content that I do consume does genuinely affect my anxiety. And when I'm watching videos on, tragedies, drama, when I'm watching videos that are, I guess, not made with a full sense of awareness for human life, which is very vague, but I think you understand, then yeah, I feel like I am becoming more isolated. So it really helps to open up the kind of content that I watch and be more diverse in that way, and try to find my way into lots of different cultures and philosophies and perspectives. That way, when I am scrolling, it doesn't feel like I'm falling down a rabbit hole, but just exploring the different experiences of the world. I think there's a healthier way we can use our devices, use our social media, if we're going to use them at all, since I don't know if anyone has the capacity to quit cold turkey. And besides, it's not like the internet is totally a negative place. There is a way in which we can use these things for our personal growth, rather than anything else. Thank you again, dear Dr. Ginny, for your trio of roses. And your tiny Yahoo! Thank you, Sarah Lynn, for your heart me. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Magdalene, you shared that you fear that your mind is far too complex, that your algorithm doesn't even know what to show you sometimes. Oh yeah, I see my algorithm making big guesses. I feel you. It's like, are you interested in toilet cleaning videos? It's like, I guess so. Alright, I'm gonna show you more of that this week. Okay. Yeah. We are all mystified by the algorithm, but I imagine it's more simple. Are you going to watch the end of this video? Is this going to increase the chance that you stay on this platform? If the answer is yes, well, more of that kind of video. We can take advantage of that. Thank you, Sarah Lynn, for your heart me. Angular Jupiter, thank you for your balloons. Hari Om Tat Sat. And I love yourself, thank you for your heart me. Kimberly, share that you feel like Jesus was trying to show us that we could have whatever we wanted. Just believe you can. But religion turned him into something else. I know what you mean. Religious people have definitely turned beautiful things into forces of oppression. So much so that many of us can no longer recognize the beauty in the original form. Alas, with a third eye open and a piercing enough intellect, we are able to discern the original truths as they are inclusive and uplifting to our greatest potential. Thank you, dear mermaiden. What a lovely name. For sending your love and light, that's beautiful. Poppy, thank you for your heart, me too. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Saturnus, for your rose and heart me as well. Om Mani Padme Hum. Saturnus, welcome. You hope that all is wonderful in my world at this perfect present moment. Well, with you here, I can safely say that this is a wonderful moment that I'm grateful for. Hello, dear Om. Not your problem. It's been a while since you've been on TikTok, but listening to me is a breath of fresh air. You are very kind, and taking a social media hiatus is very healthy. I'm happy for you. And thank you, dear Saturnus, for your 37 team bracelets and a pair of cheer you ups. Hari Om Tat Sat. And Brave Bella, thank you for your trio of roses also. Radhe Radhe. One of the most simple meditations that we can do at any time is become conscious of our breath whilst associating a sentiment within the inhale and exhale respectively. On the inhale, we can acknowledge the present moment. And on the exhale, we can rejoice in its wonder. Present moment. Wonderful moment. Present moment. Wonderful moment. In any moment, wonder is a possibility. In fact, wonder is possibility. When anything is possible, how can you not feel wonderful? Even in times where things are going wrong, when there is so much suffering, anything is possible. Often, it requires our involvement to turn it from something negative to something positive. But we can have Shraddha, faith, and trust in that possibility. And good night, dear Kylie. Kimberly, you share that you hope someone takes care of my heart and energy after the broadcast is over. And I do for myself too. Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate that. Well, I want to affirm to you that these broadcasts actually give me something full of love and wonder. I almost said love, to mix wonder and love. Fill me with love. Such wonderful love. In fact, I am the most energized in the day after my live stream. So I thank you all. Just giving fills me with so much. I get so much from giving. Wow. And Aurora, you're wondering if I still have the AI chatbot, or is she out of commission? She is out of commission at the moment. But if you really want her back, I can always repair her. And thank you, dear Anna, for the cloud bread you sent a minute ago. Hare Krishna. And Starlight, wow, thank you for your half a dozen tiny tinies. Yippee! Vanessa, thank you for your trio of roses. Radhe Radhe. Aw. You would like me to repair Mataji? Okay. Alright. As you wish. And thank you, Badramal, for your 9 roses too. Om Namah Shakti Shavaya. You all have spoken. James, you're wondering if there are still travel plans. Well, I have travel inspiration, but I still have yet to come up with plans. I'm not a very good planner. I don't even know what I'm going to eat tonight. It's difficult for me to think that far in advance, but all that is meant to be will surely happen. And I know that many of you have donated to the cause, so all of that is still there. Not going anywhere else. It's reserved for that possibility. Thank you, Michael, for your heart me and rose. Hare Krishna. MJ, you love listening to people with vastly different beliefs. Very educative experience. I love that for you. I think that's so healthy, and we all could learn from that. Our eyes, though they are 3D and see in a pair, each one by themselves only sees a 2D image. So whatever we look at, we only get a very shallow perception of. To really get an experience with depth, we have to view something from all angles, don't we? And I'm speaking very literally here, but it lends itself very easily to an analogy that when we want a deep experience of anything in life, finding perspectives that see from different angles can be very helpful. Shakala, you shared that you recommend bringing a galaxy lamp into the woods at night. It's a nice vibe. Or all the way dark. What a wonderful idea, Shakala. That's wonderful. Oh, how many times can I say wonderful? It's one of my favorite words. It's a wonderful word. I love the play of the senses, exploring light and dark and color and contrast. I've seen actually galaxy lights light up trees because a garden center in my city, at nighttime, they light up all their trees with those lasers that diffract in thousands of ways, and oh, it's wonderful. And my favorite part is when a tourist or someone who doesn't know how it's done, they're looking up at all the twinkling lights at the bottom of the leaves and branches, and they're saying, "How did they do that? How did they put up all of those lights?" And they think that someone must have got up there with millions and millions of fairy lights and strung them all around. And I think that innocence is just wonderful. Thank you, little ghost. What is wonderful in me is certainly the same within you. Thank you, Aurora, for your 10 roses. I don't know why you are so generous, you know. I never even have to ask, and yet I don't think I've done a live where someone hasn't offered something. That's just unimaginable that someone like me, who's a nobody, would just speak about their limited experience and have it connect with all of you. I'm only grateful for the space that I get to share with all of you. So thank you. Thank you, Saturnus, as well, for your team bracelet and best team. Hum Dum Durgaye Namaha. Thank you, John F., for your flowers as well. Hello, Joe MC from Ireland, the land of my ancestors. Thank you, Starlight Wow, for your quintet of fires and a heart, me too. Radhe or Radhe. And thank you, Ragnhildur, for your swan. May we all be like swans, adept in both water and land, and can even soar above them both so freely. Hello, dear mundane human things. Thank you for sharing your love and passing by. Thank you, Starlight Wow, for a trio of best teams, cheer me ups, and another cheer you up. Thank you. It's really humbling. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. How is my father doing? He's doing as well as he can. Separation between him and my mother, of course, has been hard for everyone, but he's doing everything right, you know, spending time working on himself, exercising, going for bike rides, doing the best he can at his job, which he really loves, reading about philosophy, going to counseling, you know, that's wonderful. I'm so grateful to be his son. Janae, you shared the energy today is off the hook. Wow, we better reel it in, because we're coming to the end of today's Sangha. Josan, you share that your world is much nicer, but your family is hard to be around. Lots of mental health problems. Well, wasn't it Ram Dass who said, if you think you're enlightened, try spending a day with your family. I think family provide us with the most personal memories, good and bad. But as I say, there is only goodness and the potential for goodness. And even in difficult circumstances like unhealthy relationships, mental health challenges, there are opportunities for so much love, so many lessons, so much personal growth in other ways. You're not expected to be the best family person in the world, but we all have a family. And we have many different kinds of families. A family of friends, a family of co-workers, nuclear family, and distant relatives. In a sense, we are all family. Badharmal, you shared true. You be thinking you're advanced and you spend time at home. It's funny. No one can make your day, and no one can ruin your day quite like a family member. But when we are so close and personal with someone, they have the keys to our heart, and their words become that much more powerful. We really can hurt those we love the easiest, and that's why it's extra important to be conscious this. Alright, I'd like to begin to wrap things up for tonight. But before we go, I'd love to ask you all my question of the day again. Which is, what are some unspoken benefits of singing? I would love to explore this with you. We've got some new people in today. Jik. I don't know if I understand the language. I assume it's German. Charles John, welcome. Whether you like exploring the depths of the water, the shallow of the shore, both contain beautiful experiences waiting for you. Welcome, my friend. Saturnus, you share humility if it's you singing. I'm with you there. Although my father is a musician, now I certainly do not have an ear for a key. I don't think I can sing in key. But I still love to sing nonetheless. Badramal, you share that voice is the sound of your spirit, and by singing you can express your spirit. I love that. MJ, you ask really quick, what books can you read to gain insight into my beliefs and views? I am but a mirror of all the people and places and things in my life. I don't think there is a single book that is an expression of all my experience, because my experience contains so many different books. But I'm really loving the book that we're reading together, called The Hidden Power in Humans. I look forward to continuing to read this, as this was sent by one of you, as it was written by their guru. Jose, you share, it depends what you're singing. If it is poetry, it takes you to the beyond. I love that. That's a great observation, Jose. Dr. Ginny, you share, raising the vibration in the room. Quite literally. Don Suela, you share, singing helps us connect to spirit. You've always been extremely shy to sing, however, me too. Starlight, wow. You share the vibrations of the throat and head while singing seem to open up the energy channels. I love that. Yosan, you share the potential for growth. You can easily hear. That is true. Rhiannon, you share, you are a singer, and a very lovely one at that. And you can say, it moves emotion. That's beautiful. It is the vehicle, the transporter of such sensations, isn't it? Hybrid Gen, it makes tough times seem less tough. I love that. Strawberry Star Bunny, you share, it raises your vibration when you sing, and you feel your solar plexus open or clear. I like that you can feel the vibration down. It's good to have the whole body. I have heard that TikTok offers a translation service while you're in the app, but unfortunately on my end, I am unable to translate messages since I'm not streaming from the app, but TikTok Live Studio on my desktop. I love yourself. You share that you enjoy reading your own text when you watch my live stream. Well, this is a space not just for me to express myself, but you. In many ways too. I'm happy you take advantage of that. G2 Infinity, you share, people who do karaoke, do it for the fun and play. Absolutely. Aurora, you share, emotional release, regulation and expression. You are also wise. You know that? Amazing perspectives, everyone. Vanessa, you share, singing is a great way to not only express one's emotions, but to influence them. Beautiful. Well sung. Sophia, you share, music heals things medication never could. Wow, that's powerful. Unspoken and singing in the same sentence, yeah. I'm glad you pointed that out, Anna. Hybrid Jen, you share earlier you told a young girl to keep singing to her mother as her mother told her not to. Yes, that's beautiful that you did that, and you are a wonderful mother yourself. Jen, you share that singing helps you work more efficiently. Your clients love it when they're getting their hair done. Aww, that's so sweet. Yes, I think I would be very blissful too if someone was singing to me while doing anything, really, but especially cutting my hair. JIKK, you feel an unspoken disconnect between us. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I know there is a language barrier because many of your words were in German, I assume, but in any way I can help bridge that gap, do let me know. I don't want anyone to feel like they are disconnected from this space. You're Dutch. We've got many lovely Dutch people here. A Germanic language. Forgive me for not knowing the difference. Shakala, thank you for your pair of finger hearts too. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hello Nali, welcome. Rhiannon, you add that singing in harmony bonds people. Very true. Good night, dear Aurora. Dr. Ginny, you've heard that you can't overthink when you're humming. Well, I'll have to try that now. Actually, I have been doing that. I have been humming a lot lately, my mantras. Little Ghost, you have one question. How often do I meditate? Just by being here. This is my meditation. I try to make all my actions into a meditation. Jen, you share that singing helps you work more efficiently. Oh, I just read that. Sorry. But it's such a good comment, it deserves to be read again. Shakala, music is your favorite uplifting thing you can think of. So beautiful. Thank you, Jake. I do feel like the masculine and the feminine exist within all things, and as we embrace them both, we exhibit a very balanced life. Doom Knight, you ask, did anyone say it produces nitric oxide yet? Isn't that laughing gas? I don't know if that's true or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if it helps us secrete some happy hormones. Sophia, you used to sing in care homes and shared out mics, tambourines, and maracas. Joy to all. That's so beautiful. Sophia, you're one of the most wholesome people in the universe, I think. And that's a great observation, Chakala. Yam is the mantra for the heart chakra. But it's just a coincidence because it's also part of my name that my mother gave me. And thank you, Shakala, for your quintet of ice cream cones and your fire as well. Radhe or Radhe. Spirit Bird, you share that singing enriches the soul, harmonizes emotional well-being, and deepens connections with others. I think if the concept of singing itself had a Tinder bio, that would be it. So beautifully descriptive. Bear, you share that we texted last night. Did we? On another platform? I'm only clarifying because if you're messaging with someone on TikTok claiming to be me, it's not me. Just so you know. Be careful with that. Ragnhildur, you share that singing and humming make you happy. I love that. Yes, I'm happy to hear that too. Saturnus, you share we can't forget. It spreads Christmas cheer. Singing loud for all to hear. that is. I like that. Such wonderful answers, everyone. Thank you. Supartana, you had asked if I was a Buddhist or do I have any other religion. I love to embrace whatever your path is. You can consider me like a speed boost in racing games, you know? Whatever direction that you drive over the speed boost, you just accelerate in that direction. You know, my goal would be to uplift all my fellow Christians to be better Christians, all my fellow Jews to be fellow Jews, all my fellow Muslims to be better Muslims, all my fellow Jains to be fellow Jains, all my fellow Hindus to be better Hindus, all my fellow Buddhists to be better Buddhists, all my fellow Sikhs to be better Sikhs. I only wish you to be better in your faith, rather than give you a quote-unquote better faith. And if you are attached to none of those things, or something beyond, or all of them above, then that's wonderful too. I hold no expectations for you. I only wish to have the space for you to grow in with me as we continue our spiritual journey. I love what you say, Alex. We are just souls playing around in human bodies. Everything else is a label. Thank you, Hybrid Jen, for your quintet of roses too. Radhe, Radhe. And good night, Yosand. Thank you for being here. Jik, you ask, do I believe in hair colors? Do I believe in hair colors? Well, I think hair is one way in which we definitely express ourselves. And there are many people who have colors of hair that if someone found them on the carpet, that I could never claim that to be me. So I'll be able to get out of the way. Did you drop this hair? No. Look, that's red. I don't have red hair. You can't blame me. Oh, you're wondering if the color affects your soul. Oh, I believe it's an expression of one's soul rather than something that it affects the soul. But we are forms that are limited, and no expression can fully embrace the depth of one's soul. There are many beautiful people that have orange hair, red hair, black hair, brown hair, blue hair, green hair, pink hair. And they are all just as wonderful souls, equally so. So, we cannot judge a person's soul by the color of their hair, nor by the color of their skin, the color of their eyes, or the color of the shirt they wear. How they are expressing that wonderful source within, it is true for this moment. But in the next lifetime, who's to say? Take care, dear MJ. Thank you for being here. Before we go tonight, let's crack open another section of the hidden power in humans together. Let's continue our understanding of the Muladhara Chakra, the root chakra. We're just going to end our discussion of the root chakra with helpful exercises. And all of these exercises are described in detail in the book Yoga in Daily Life, The System, by the same author, published by Ibera Verlag. So we discussed some mudras and asanas, like Kriya Yoga, Ashwini Mudra, Mahamudra, and Manduki Mudra, also known as Bhadrasana. Some other helpful exercises in case you want to Google these keywords for your root chakra's health and well-being is the Mula Bandha, which is not given an illustration. There's Yoga Mudra, which is the diagram with the number 1 next to it. It's the woman in yellow at the top there. Head on the ground, arms stretched out, tummy touching your thighs. All of these positions are great for the root chakra. The second is, to turn it around to see it, Shalabhasana, the second, where you're laying on your stomach and you're sticking your feet up into the air. Third is Paschimottanasana. Sorry, I skipped a syllable. Paschimottanasana, which is the third, where you bring your head close to your knees, just collapse on the floor, put your arms next to your legs. And then the fourth is Dhanurasana, where you grab your feet with your hands, bending backwards with your pelvis on the floor. And the fifth one, which has no illustration, is called Tadagi Mudra. Those are some physical practices for the Muladhara Chakra. Here are some meditation practices for awakening the same chakra. We can exhale and, without breathing, perform Ashwini Mudra twice. We can intertwine our breath with our physical practice. We can inhale and be aware of how a current of energy rises along the spinal column. Again, perform Ashwini Mudra twice without breathing, and then exhale. Feel how the energy spreads through the whole body and tensions dissolve. Though I love the philosophy of yoga, I'm not very learned on Hatha Yoga, the physical yoga practices. So maybe some of you yogis or yoginis know. We can perform this exercise for 5 minutes. We can relax and feel the after effects of the exercise for a few minutes. Throughout the exercise, remain as an observer, without judgment, and without losing yourself in the feelings as they surface. As we discussed prior, opening the root chakra lends itself very quickly to a deep discovery of many aspects of yourself that perhaps have been repressed since endless lifetimes. Feel how the waves of energy rise within the body and how they gently spread. Feel an inner purification and be aware of your inner light. Now direct your consciousness to the center of your chest. Feel peace and love. Open your heart and feel all living things as a part of your own self. Feel how the stream of energy that rises from the Muladhara Chakra awakens very pleasant feelings within you. See within your inner space a red light, the color of the sunset or the embers of a fire. Recognize that you, yourself, are the midpoint from which this light radiates. Bring your most beautiful thoughts and feelings to this expression and allow it to radiate out into the universe with a feeling of deep love, warmth, and bliss. Slowly bring your awareness back to your body and inhale deeply and sing Om, Om, Om 3 times. And that concludes our multi-part inquiry into the depths of the root chakra. Next time, we'll discover the secrets of the Svadhisthana Chakra, also known as the sacral center. Thank you for listening. Thank you, dear Hybrid Jen, for your beautiful paper crane as well. And with that, I am very grateful to host a space for you all. Thank you for being here. As we end, MD, you ask a very pertinent question. What is the point of life? All I know is that life comes in many forms, and to me that implies two things relevant to your question. One, your life is unique to yours, and therefore, without a doubt, the answer to that question is going to be unique to you, as it will be unique to everyone also. There is not just one life happening. There are many. And your uniqueness in your experience is what's true for you. Secondly, because there is such a diversity of life, then we are all part of a greater whole. Being a part of that greater whole, to me, is very meaningful, very purposeful. I think the point in many ways is to be a part of this ecosystem of life too, and contribute in the way that we can. But if you're looking for some cosmic answer to finally put the nail in the coffin, well, if there's one thing I know about life, is that there are no answers, but only questions giving rise to more and more questions. We open up in this way, much like a flower blossoms, with new directions to go, and this experience of life keeps on propelling us forward, to express the infinite nature of that source from which we come. But that's just my experience, at least. Thank you, dear Gina, for your pair of roses, blessing us as we close our Sangha today. Radhe o Radhe. Thank you for sharing your love from Sweden, little ghost. Thank you for wishing everyone's night to be kind to them, Magdalene. Hello and goodbye, dear Rosie. Nice to see you. Thank you for your presence here as always, Dansuela. You are such a treat. Radhe o Radhe, Dr. Jenny. Much love to you all. And my messages are always open on other platforms. So, please feel free to message me there in case there's something that I cannot attend to here. Empty, you are scared of the future and when you're old and tired. Oh, my dear. Why be afraid of something that exists in a time that you will have to deal with then? All that you have to deal with in this moment is yours. It is just this indivisible slice of time. No need to suffer our imaginations of the future or our memories of the past, when in this present moment, all that is available to you can be conducive to your joy and bliss. Worry about tomorrow. If you're going to worry, at least do so when it's actually time to worry. As anyone who is old and or tired will tell you, embrace the energy and youth that you have now. Fortunately, it is possible to live a long and healthy life. There are many cases of people living to 120 years old, very little health problems in their old age, and they pass away peacefully when they're ready. There's this great yogi named Yogi Shivananda who's still alive, and he's 127, and every day he stands on his head. No, seriously. 127-year-old guy doing a handstand every morning, stretching himself, bending himself, flexible as ever, walking everywhere. Teeth is in good quality, his eyes still good. He has interviews on YouTube. You should go check him out. He's an inspiration. They say you're only as old as your spine. If you take good care of your spine, you could be like Yoga Shivananda. 127 and still like a pretzel whenever you want. I'll type his name in chat. It's Shivananda, but I believe they spell it with just an S without an SH. Shivananda. There have been many Shivanandas, by the way, but I'll just put his age too. 127-year-old yogi. Thank you, Diana, for your heart me and team bracelet too. Hari Om Tat Sat. I am very grateful for this experience as always. Thank you. I have some advertisements before we go. Basically, everything I'm about to advertise is in the link tree in my bio, so if you want to leave now, but if you just want to open up the link, there's tons of stuff for you to explore there, like my Yamsox live YouTube channel, where I upload the recording of this live, with the readings too, in case you ever want to get an audiobook experience or fall asleep to these live streams. I know some people want that, so it's there for you. Also, there's an ASMR YouTube channel where I've been reading through the Bhagavad Gita, and there's some other special videos there, like a tutorial on chanting for relaxation, and a 30-minute video walking you down from a panic attack in case that's something you ever need. As of new things there, sorry, I'm just looking at the clovers beneath me. I love looking at clovers. I'm Irish, they just allure me. The new thing there is a Google form. And there's a Google form for you to fill out if you want to showcase some talent or interest or passion. Do you have some creative project that I can use this space to share, to propel your voice? I would love for that to be a segment of these live streams where I get to echo your own experience and expression of life. So if you want to share something with me, there's links to drop files and such as images and videos. You can tell me about things. If you have poems you want me to read or art pieces, I would love to share them with others. So if you look in the link tree in my bio, there's a show and tell application form. Rosie, you share that clover is slow aging? Well, now I gotta eat them all up. Nah, I feel bad picking them out, because then how will they experience a beautiful long life of their own? I'll just let them be in the ground. And of course, if you like my yam dana, this is something that's in the store section of the link tree in my bio that I designed, along with the yam sock and a tiny beanie that you see on my microphone that answers Ray's question at the same time. Thank you, Tatmamasi, for your quintet of roses. Radhe Radhe. Or shall I say, Jai Nisargadatta. I like doing that one for you. Maharaj. Yam advertising all the free love he gives to the world. That's very kind of you, Dr. Ginny. Yeah, all of those things are free, with the exception, of course, the yam dana. If I could give them out for free, I would, but I try to make them as cheap as possible. By default, I think there's a $10 profit margin for people who use it. I think I don't need that. So it's like I put it down to $4 for each of these things. Alright, without further ado, I bid you farewell. Thank you, Bobby Sue, for your finger heart. Hare Krishna. And thank you, Jane, for your rose as well. I'm happy to hear that you've been reading the Bhagavad Gita. Sige Weef. I hope it has been an enjoyable experience for you. May you all have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, or your morning, or your evening, or your night, whatever time it is for you. In general, universally, may you all have a wonderful rest of your present moment. Much love to you. Namaste.